So I wanted to provide a quick recap of Memorial Day. I did play the Golden Hour Pick 4, and I was really unsure in terms of certain races. Like the first leg, I thought about picking two horses. I ended up picking three. Um, Overall, the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4, I made a bet of a total of $108. I did win. Um, all the horses came in, um, but I only got about a little over $130 from that. So the profit wasn't that big, but um, they were majority of them were all favorites. I think they were all favorites, but they weren't odds on, so they weren't under 101. About three of them were 2 to 1, and another one was 9 to 5. So hence why I was able to make a little over $100. So today I'm doing another Golden Hour Pick 4, and this is the second to the last weekend for the Golden Hour Pick 4 because next weekend is going to be the last day for Golden Gate Fields. So in my other previous two Golden Hour Pick 4, it looked like I went to about 20 minutes. I'll try to make it kind of shorter this time. Um, so it won't be as long as elaborate. But in terms of what I did the last time, I'm just going to give you insights. And maybe that's why I was able to pick the Golden Hour Pick 4 because I wasn't dead set. As I'm making this video right now, there could be certain horses that could be scratched. So that's why I'll just give insights. And then when I'm at Golden Gate Fields today, I'll make my final decision 15 minutes before the first leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4. And the first leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4 is race 8 at Santa Anita. And this is a maiden race. And maiden race is really hard to handicap. And I think this is where you really try to find your true niche as a handicapper. So at the moment, I'm thinking about three horses, maybe four. So probably in each leg, I'll probably talk about four horses. So one of the horses I'm thinking about playing is Tequila Talking, and his grandsire is Bernardini. This is a son here of Stay Thirsty, a leading sire in California, and from what I read, this is a full brother to another horse who's ran well. Hasn't run before, so this is a first time starter. Um, I did question mark the workouts because I wasn't sure they're fast enough, but based on what I've read in terms of its pedigree and the daily racing form, this could be a potential play. Um, Another horse that I could be thinking of is number 7, which is Pay Tribute. This is also a first time starter, and this is by Kobe's Back. Kobe's Back was a graded stakes a sprinter. So, in terms of right now, I noted the workouts. He did pretty well. The last workout, he had the fourth fastest time, and then the second last workout, and the workout prior to that, he had the fastest time. This is where how you to see who are good handicappers. It's one thing to pick favorites to win. It's another thing to pick long shots to win. But if you could pick some horses that are like, let's say, between 6 to 8 to 1, and they win, that shows you that you're a true handicapper. That's where you make I think, really shows you in terms of how good you are, or exceptional you are as a handicapper. I put a question mark because I'm still not sure. So that's one horse I'm thinking about. Two other horses I'm thinking about is the 9 and 10. So Cody Boy is right now is the morning line favorite. This race here is actually a 6 furlongs race. Grayson's is a grandson of Aladar, probably one of the few remaining male line Aladars left, and this horse has finished twice. So that's why I put a question mark, because even though he's the favorite, I'm just not sure if this horse could finish first. The one horse I'm definitely more sure on is Last Call Paul, another Bernardini. I know there's the progeny. The last three starts has finished third. So of all the horses, there's four horses I'm thinking about. Number 10 is a definite play on my first leg. The second leg is race 7 at Golden Gate Fields. And there were multiple horses here that I'm thinking about playing. Maybe noted 4 or 5 horses. I'm not sure which ones to pick. Maybe it might be 3. But at the moment, here's the horses I'm thinking. The first is number 1, Zeus Wars. And I noted on here that he's run 4 or 5 Golden Gate Fields. He's been in the money. This race here is a mile over Topeka. So with his form, he's one I'm considering. Another one that has another one I'm considering too, but more of a question mark could be is number 2, Lord Sheldon. I've noted that he has 4 wins out of 6 Golden Gate Field starts. I guess my concern is that he's consistently has 70s buyer speed figures, whereas number 1 you see like an 80 and 90 buyer speed figures. So that's another horse I'm thinking about is Lord Sheldon. Another horse is number 3, Bellator. I actually saw him last race in the San Francisco Mile at Golden Gate Fields, and I picked a superfecta box, and he wasn't part of it. That's why you see him in 5th place right here, his last start. So I remember I watched this horse race live, and at first in the San Francisco Mile, I was considering playing him, but I noticed his form that ever since winning the California Derby, he hasn't won a stakes race. But if you look at this race, and this race is a optional claim race, his races have been stakes races, and granted he hasn't won a stakes race since after the California Derby, but the next start he had second. The San Francisco Mile in 2023, he had finished third. So if you could look at the quality of horses he ran, it's really 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 good quality compared to the field. And then this horse at the moment is 8-1. So I at first I put a question mark, but I am going to play him. I think given the fact of what he faced in the past, and he's 8-1. I think I could see him dwindling down to 4-1, and at post time. But at 8-1 right now, yeah, I'm definitely putting him in my play. Um, Another horse I'm really definitely putting in my play is the number 5, is Prince Abu Dhabi, because he's undefeated at Golden Gate Fields. So, and that's why he's the morning life favorite. So that's a definite choice I'm going to pick in the second leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4. The third leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4 is race number 9. It's a mile of grass race at Santa Anita, and this is out of the legs. This is the most even of the field, and the reason I say that, the morning line favorite's 4-1, but there's 4 other horses who are 5-1. That's why this is like the most even leg. And I might not be definite in some of these horses, but this one here, whereas the first 2 legs I might be leaning towards maybe 3 horses. This one I could see picking 4 horses. And part of the reason is I said this is an even field. When you have 4 other horses that are 5-1 morning line, and in addition, the third leg has always been giving me problems in any pick 4, or the second leg in the pick 3. So it's like the previous to last leg is always giving me problems. That's why I'm going to pick most likely 4. So one of the 4 I'm thinking about is a 5-1 morning line odds is Big Summer. He ran in May, but prior to that it's been a year ago. So he's run in Great Stakes races, and given his performances, I put a question mark at the moment, but he's one horse I'm really considering. Another horse I might be considering is number 3, 16 Arches. I noted that the last 2 starts he's ran second, but I've also noted that the last time he ran was November 2022. And unless you're a very superior, exceptional horse to overcome that, it could be some concerns. I think this could be more like, okay, trying to get her legs back, just like with number one. So, but it's something to consider. Another horse I'm really considering is number 6, and this is the morning line. I believe looks like it's 4-1, and 3 of the 4 San Anita Field turf races have been in the money. So maybe needed the last race. This could be the theme of this race. Whoever performs well after their first race after a long layoff. So it's a horse I'm considering. So actually, the horse I'm really definite, and I thought last night I was on the fence is my Hana, and I underlined the pedigree Malibu Moon, who's a son of AP Indy, but Malibu Pier was a graded stakes winner, and if you look at the form prior to the last race, had won 2 in a row on grass, firm and good. So has won half of its San Anita Field starts. And I mentioned about really good handicappers, the ones who not only pick favorites or long shots, but picks, let's say, middle of the line odds. Those are the ones. This is where you get your real skills. So this horse is 5-1 at the moment, and this is from yesterday, which was like maybe a question mark, is now definitely a yes. At 5-1, I'm really sticking my toes. I'm just sticking my foot down, and saying, yeah, this is definitely the one of the horses. This is definitely one of the horses I'm going to pick in my Golden Hour pick 4. The fourth and final leg is race 8 at Golden Gate Fields, and my favorite, the maiden race. Yeah, I know I'm being sarcastic, but those are really hard races to handicap because these are horses who've never won before. So if they run multiple times and haven't won, it's really hard to handicap these type of horses. But I think this is where you get your quote unquote your apprentice skills in terms of becoming a very exceptional handicapper. I'm an amateur handicapper, I'll admit, but when you bet maiden races, this is where you have to really look into the form to see which horses you think could finish their first time. And one of the horses, actually, there's 2 horses here that is very intriguing. Number 1 and number 5. They both have the similar name because they have goodbye in the first name, and the second words almost rhymes the same. But if you notice, they have the same sire. Practical joke right here, and they also have the same owner, same trainer, Jose Bautista, right here. In terms of pedigree, I also noted that if you look at the dam, the 2 dams here. They're both male male line descendants of Mr. Prospector. So you have a practical joke on top, and with the Mr. Prospector line mare on the bottom, with both the same trainer. So these are the 2 horses I'm considering. Out of the 2 at the moment, number 1 is definite because it's finished in the money in all 3 Golden Gate Field starts. But number 5 could also is another possibility I could use. Another horse I'm thinking about is Far Too Long, and if you look at the last 2 street buyers, it's had made a real jump because it's in the 60s. But prior to that, prior to those 260 buyers fees figures, it only received a 39. So I think this horse is finding its groove right now. Whether it will finish first remains to be seen. But at 10-1, that's a very, very intriguing play to make. Another horse I'm thinking about is number 8 is Dillian League, and this is very puzzling because I think at the moment this horse could be second choice, or maybe actually third choice at 9-2. It has ran second at Golden Gate Fields, and has ran third, but it's very tricky. It's kind of puzzling because it's really hard to see how this horse will run. Could be maybe a horse that just finishes third and fourth, but that's another horse to look at. So those are my four. Those are the legs horses I plan to play in my Golden Hour Pick 4. I mentioned I didn't want to go over 20 minutes. It's now about 15 minutes. So I'm trying to get better with these races, and I try to just dwell on more. I'm just trying to get right to a point. But yeah, so as the saying goes, my favorite saying when I learn in the racetrack is, and actually, yeah, from what I learned from my last Golden Hour Pick 4, um, you bet small to win big. And good luck, everybody.